love? Do you even remember who it was?
Yeah, I do. It was you.
Oh, please, like you're a virgin at 23.
No,
I
you
don't.
said first love, not first sexual experience. Okay.
Okay, fine. Like I'm the first woman you've ever fell in love with.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't
the
think
first
so.
one I felt truly connected to. Sure. What? I
Okay.
wasn't your first love.
In terms of coming back to this one, what is the writing process like for you guys? How long does it take from when you sit down and start having the conversation to when you have what you're going to shoot?
Why don't we just? We didn't talk about it for about
7 years.
6, 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
And then we were like,
We met in New York. Julie was working in New York, and so Rick knew that, and I lived there. So Rick's like, you know what? They're both in New York. I'm going to come. Let's all go out to dinner.
Yeah.
And it's at that moment that we all realized that we wanted to write about the same thing.
a third.
That we all saw Jesse and Selena's together. And that's they could have not been together. There was a
Yeah,
lot
we
of.
could disagree on that, and
You
then
left it in the greatest place. So.
Yeah, and so we we left it wide open. And so once we agreed
make the
to the
decision.
basic, like, all right, we all want to write about what happens when you get what you want. What do you do with it? That was the gist of it. And once that was on the table, well, then dominoes started falling. Okay, well, where are
What
they
happened?
live? What happens?
What are
Do
the
they have children? Don't they have
consequences?
children? And then it just started unfolding. Twins. Yeah, one shot, 2-run homer.
The first film is so much just about hope and about possibility and potential. And that second film is the idea of can you go back to something? And then in this one, it really, this is the one that guts me. This is the one that from the opening with you with the kid dropping him at the airport till the very last shot, I just find repeatedly just pulled my heart out.
Right.
But I think that's just a process of age. You get to the point where things land harder.
They're in a much more sophisticated part of life, a richer part of the forest.
our life is more and more carved by the decision we make. So, as you get older, every decision you make has an effect on your life, and that's where the film starts with the decision he made of missing that plane, basically,
And how that's impacted his life.
Yeah,
And the consequences
and the life of
that.
others too, because it's not just your life.
Yeah.
The dialogue in the film is so natural, and the way you guys play it, there is such a lovely organic rhythm to it. But am I correct in saying that you guys meticulously script, that this is not something
You
that
can't.
Every
we
word.
couldn't do that with these long takes, Rick. We would be.
I mean,
the movie's not made in the editing
The
room.
opening scene, the second scene after the opening scene, which is basically the car scene, which is 14 minutes, we set up, we explain what happened. We understand what happened without making it too expository because that's terrible.
Get to know Jesse and Celine again. Get to know where they are in
Where
their
they at,
relationship, where
what's
they are in
going
their careers.
on, her professional issues, their issues, the ticking bomb that he does set. All this is really, really planned, and it has to fit in in that scene.
And it has
it's
to appear
impossible
effortless.
to improvise something like that. I mean, we would be.
And
I would,
you'd still be there probably
yeah.
working
Yeah, I
through
know.
it. Yeah,
in
it's-
most movies, you don't have to
And it
worry
would be
about
full
that
of
much
jump
because you
cuts
can
on
always
top of
cut
it.
away from something. You can always do. We can. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll cut to the girls in the back. I'll cut to the
There's no
POV.
cut.
I'll cut to the close up. No,
There is
he
a cut,
wanted
but
you
it's
to
like
fall
not-
in love, or not fall in love. He wanted you to be back in their world.
Yeah.
And by not
just-
using that, typical wide close up, his reaction, his eyes looking, by not doing that, by doing it with a very simple, one shot, the two of them, you kind of lose the sense of a film because it's not the typical kind of film language kind of being used. You're in one take, and it's extremely difficult for us because we have to just do it, so it's a lot of rehearsal and everything. I mean, we have ways to do it. We just rehearse.
Yeah, and Rick scopes. I want you to overlap her there. No, if you overlap there, I can't hear that line, and then I don't understand
And it
the
doesn't
sentence.
work, blah, blah, blah.
And then it's all.
We need a tiny pause there, but then it
Yeah.
can't be too long, otherwise
Let
it
it
doesn't work
breathe.
anymore. So it's just like so tedious and so, like sewing lace, basically. But it brings something that I think it makes people feel like they're actually part
car.
of their lives.
Well, I'll be honest. My first reaction after seeing it is, where do you have the microphones in my house? Because it's that spot on. Thank you
Great.
guys.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for taking the time, and I think it's exceptional.
Thank you.
For breaking entertainment news and more, follow @HitFix on Twitter or visit hitfix.com.